Okay, so here there's a chess situation at the top, and the question asked with this situation is, should the white check with the rook or the queen? So we notice white pieces and we see white queen here and white rook here, and we also notice black pieces and we see black king at the top here, black pawns surrounding it, in a way blocking it as well, and black pawns and black bishop, black knight, and the black queen. Also notice white king and the white pawns and the pawn here. The question is asked, should white check with the rook or the queen? So there's a mention of check here, right? We will see if check is at all possible. Considering this to be white's next move, first we have to see whether check is at all possible. And if it is, what are the pieces, what are the white pieces among all these white pieces at the bottom, which can actually check the king here? And which one is possibly a checkmate then? Or which one lets us have more chance of checkmating the king later? So let's see. We have created the same setup at the board editor below. Let's play this out. Let's think about it here. And at the board, we notice the black king at the top, black queen also here, right? We forgot to mention black queen at the beginning, black knight, black bishop, and the white pieces. And about the black king, we notice that this king is kind of blocked by these pawns. It cannot move into these pawns, these squares, if it is under attack from the open back rank here. Like this back row where the king is kind of open. So if it's possible for any white piece then to move here in these squares and attack the king from here, and we see that two of the white pieces, one is the white queen and one is the white rook at the bottom, they both have open lines to reaching to these squares at this row, right? So they can possibly, yeah, they can definitely both check the king in the next move, right? So what are the black pieces in a position to reach at this back row to either kill the checking pieces or uh, block the attack by coming in between, right? So given that immediately the white moves to check from here, what are the black pieces that can come in action? And it looks like that this black queen can somehow reach at the back row diagonally, or this white knight, black knight is in a position to reach here, but they both reach here, right? They both reach here, and they, and once the black knight moves, it kind of opens the way for this black bishop to then, because this square is original square of the black knight will be free if it moves towards the back row, and then black knight then can come in action and reach here. So kind of three potential candidates to reach the black rows, one at this square, this square, and possibly this square later. So if and there are only two possible pieces with which white can move to create the check. Pawns cannot move that far, and similarly with king. So if the white then moves with the rook, suppose we move with the rook, right? With the rook, if we move to create the check, we come somewhere here, and we see that there are two possible ways for the black to come in between from here to here. If the line is attack is all the way from a8 to g8, then two of the black pieces can come in between, which is this black knight and other is this black queen. So immediately a black piece is able to come in between, and this square, if the black piece comes in between and it blocks the attack from the white rook here, white rook, if it moves to kill the black piece, black blocking piece here, the other black piece will capture the white rook there, right? So it's protected by two of the black pieces, so it gives it additional security, and it is like interposition to move from here to here or from here to here is a useful thing to do, right? Because it will be protected. So if white moves with the rook, we see that there is a way for black to immediately block the check and evade the possibly move away from the mate. But if this white queen at the bottom is used, if the white moves this queen all the way to go to this back rank, go to this row, and um, attack from here, right? Now the black pieces we saw, knight and queen, can reach at this square, right? So they are not coming in between, and none of the black pieces currently is killing this, right? And none of the black pieces can come in between other than the king. King can move, but it stays in the same line of attack, so there is no way now, and king cannot flee out of it, right? There is no way now for the black to um, neutralize this attack, block it, or evade it. So this is a checkmate, right? This is actually a checkmate. Pawns can only move forward. Black pawns have no chance to neutralize this. So yeah, we see that this is immediately a checkmate. So my answer to this question, if I have to mark at the options above, I would mark is that with the queen, white check should be with the queen because it will lead to um, checkmate, because interpositions here will easily block the check from rook, but not from the queen. Let's also quickly check the answer. Yes, with the queen. The queen checkmates. We figured out how. If the white's rook checks, which is white's rook moves here, the black knight can interpose on the square protected by the black's queen. Yes, so black knight can move here to interpose, and this square is protected by the black queen. So even if the rook then moves to kill it, it is immediately neutralized. So and it also then creates black's defense here. So even if now the queen moves, it will be neutralized because black has a defense. So it does not lead to a checkmate in that condition. Okay, sorry. Actually, there was a black queen here. There was a black knight here. Yes, and yeah, yeah. This is the original setup. So yeah,